Yeah, you look good, dude. You got your black hat on. You're looking good. Mm. Oh wait, Nuzo says no audio. Hold on a second. The video's great.
There we go. There we go. That should fix it.
No, wait, that's him.
Is that better, Nuzo?
Yeah, I just tried it. I can hear it. Let's wait a sec.
All right, here, Taryn. There we go. All right, so
There
you
we
can hear
go.
me. All right, great. After a long hiatus,
Baby.
we are back with another MUME talk today, and today we have very special guests, MuMeM and Freyja. Actually, I should ask you guys, how do you pronounce your names? Because I'm not sure on either, to be honest. Yeah, MuMeM. Is that how you say it?
Actually, I have no idea. I just made this up when I was
Oh.
creating an account for my add-ons, and I wanted to add something fancy like MuMe or whatever, and everything was taken, so I just used this one. And I have no idea myself how you pronounce it.
That's so clever. Every single person we have in the pod is like, I have no idea how to say my own name. I have no idea how to say anyone else's name. Yeah.
That's great. Is it Freyja or Freyja or
Yeah, I think.
Freyja? Okay, got it. Well, we are super excited to have you guys on the podcast. Before we dive into the scheduled event, shall we say? Before we do anything else, we've got another newbie guide from Baca here, so we're gonna show this off real quick. Oh, look at that, we got my little thing there. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Anyway, so we got a newbie guide for guilds and practicing that he created, and it's got these nice hyperlinks over here on the side, so you can jump to thief skills, and it gives you a little idea of what the skill is doing, which is actually really helpful because there's a lot of the skills are not very well you don't really know what they mean. Like, what does attack mean, for thief, etc. Anyway, so he put this together. This looks great. If you meet any newbies who are struggling to figure out how to practice or where to practice or what skills do, shoot them this link. I'll put it in chat real quick.
Yeah, the worst thing is when you meet some newbie who's like, I want my guy to be good at fighting mages, so I put 15 pracs in detect magic, and you're just like, oh, or something like where they practice like charge and kick and spears and everything, and you're like, okay, hold on.
Yeah, especially charge, because it sounds like you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome,
Yeah, they're so pumped. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so we got that. Yeah, without further ado, actually, let's just hop into
hold
it.
on, should we talk about game news? Because there's been a lot of news.
Has there? Let's check.
Yeah, the MUME Talk hosts, we just partied our faces off in New York, and we kind of got burned out on MUME, but I think the game has continued on without us, right? The auto ride. We've not talked about the auto ride change.
Let's see
on the podcast, right?
Game news. We've got one from 21 February, which is the hyphenated keywords magic objects who options. When was the last one we did?
No, look, dude, four down. 12th February. Auto ride spam.
Oh yeah, that was the last one.
Right?
Okay, so we're gonna go way back for this. All right. It's that. All right, so we've got changes to auto ride. You can set up and lead whenever your leader decides to. That's excellent. Players can
How it's working? I mean, I'm embarrassed. I've been traveling and sick and all kinds of shit for the past month. I've hardly even played, but has anybody tried the auto ride stuff? Does it work well? Is it like a super delayed command? Like, is it any scoop? Any comments on that? Any insights on that? Slamp Pamp, great name, fantastic name, says works super nice. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of the decisive word. Auto ride's amazing. Wow.
Well, I mean, I fully believe that because some idiots like myself have not been using auto ride for the entire MUME career, so I could use the help.
Wow,
Um,
deleted my triggers at the first try. Sweet. Okay,
wow,
great.
that good?
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually
Wow.
excellent.
So it's not, a lot of times when they build the commands in, they kind of nerf it. So it's like
Hmm.
people are still like, no, I want my own custom shit, but it sounds like maybe not.
Yeah.
Um, by the way, is Nick here? I've not heard
I am here.
Nick's.
Hello.
There we go.
Okay.
There's Nick's
Yeah, yeah,
silky,
yeah.
silky, sultry voice. There we go. Have you been playing, Nick? Peter and I, we haven't played like in a month. Have you played, dude?
I uh I played briefly uh one session a couple weeks ago because I was testing some things, but strangely enough I forgot about the auto ride because I have, of course my scripts, and I think I had to toggle it on, and so I'll have to test that again with it. I'll have to make sure it's toggled on because I just don't think it was turned on. So
Well, I'm curious. I think because I feel like that's something the community's been talking about for like literally 20 years. And it's cool to see them implement it. Apparently, they did a very good job. So, shouts out management. Have there been other big news in this time that the ever vigilant meme talk hosts have just completely missed?
So cave trolls and mountain trolls use multi-bash and multi-hit abilities respectively. We've got Greyhaven shops have visible signs that'll help with new players. You can now show your position in the prompts as P1 through P8 for dying through standing. Okay, so your position is in prompt. You have GMC fields for character vitals. GMCP, I should say. This is a cool one. Rangers will now be able to view the inventory
Sweet.
of newcomers with Examine. So they basically have like steel skills built in, kind of. All right, that's good. Some quality of life changes here with hyphens.
Dude, I like this. The description of the Obsidian Eye now changes slightly depending on charge. That's awesome.
That is cool. Yeah, you're
That's
not just
that
carrying around an
is
empty
cool.
one, not knowing.
You're not just just have no clue. Yeah, yeah. Or the worst is when you have two and then you like one of them has charges and the other one like maybe, and then you put all pack, or like you like lose track of which one's which, then you just have no idea, and then you get infuriated. That's great.
Oh, you can also see who novices. That'll show you like kind of newbies, I guess. Who champions will also show you. Oh no, so novices lists anyone below level 13, and who champion anyone between level 13 and 20. That's really helpful. That's really helpful. That's actually super helpful for like that weird. Like let's say you're like level 14, you're looking for a group, and you type who, but you can't. You just have to like
Exactly.
guess who's.
Yeah.
and how something messes up every time. So that's it.
Exactly.
Oh,
But you know what?
I'm back.
Okay, there he is.
Sorry
He
about
pulled
that.
the audio cable. He pulled
How
the
long
audio
was I
cable
talking
back
by
out.
myself?
Yes.
Well, the technology always works until you have an audience. I mean, that's
Okay.
how technology works.
All right. Okay.
That's
You
hilarious.
can tell we're a professional podcasting.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Let's do the guests.
Yeah.
Let's stop embarrassing ourselves and let the guests take center stage here a little bit.
Absolutely. So we got MuMeM and Freyja today. Do you guys mind saying who a couple of your characters are?
Oh, I don't have that much. So I have Ulirin, which was one of the first I created. Then I have 2 or 3 in the 20s. I just started playing again 2 or 3 months ago. I was playing back in the 90s during the stat rolling times, where I had quite some characters. Also, never really made it high. So I don't mind saying it, but it's pretty worthless if you know them because they're all low level still.
And Freyja?
So my I know is Freyja, and I didn't play much of. I didn't level up any characters. Like I don't have a big list of them, but the most known probably is Faith the bear, and Nefer as a dark Numenarian, and maybe Maris from the Whitey side as well. But yeah, a short list.
Gotcha. So have you guys been playing much at all recently, or been mostly just on the building grind?
I just had a half-day session where I also tried the auto mount. It was working fine, but yeah, no time for playing at the moment.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And Freyja, your bear was pretty high level bear, if I recall, right? Like 60 or 70 or
Yeah,
something?
it was the most highest level bear for some time. Yeah, but
And
now I'm not
probably still was the highest level bear that played as bear, right? Because I think Fane mostly just plays in humanoid form, right? Right?
Yeah, maybe we can say that.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're not asking you to put you on the spot or anything to make some big claim. Blame me for any inaccuracies, but I know Freyja, you have a website which is I've certainly checked over the years and is a fun. That's your website, right? Is it How to Roar or Roar Like a Bear or something like that?
Yeah,
Is that your
exactly.
site?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Roar
I've
like a
checked
bear.
that over the decades. It's great. So
I was gonna say, I remember
thank
your
you.
website. I used to
It's
go to your
outdated
website
now.
all the time. Like I loved your website. It was awesome.
it's classic. Yeah, that's one thing we tried to do in the pod is the people who made like a really great, awesome community contribution back in the day, and maybe they don't know if anybody checks it or whatever. We always try to be like, it was awesome. So
Are
it's
you
a
still
fun.
up?
It's a
Oh,
fun
thank
site.
you. It's good to hear.
Are you still updating it?
Needs
'Cause
a little
I haven't been
update.
there in a while.
Do you have the
I haven't
actual
been
name of the
updating.
website? Newzo's asking.
It's mume.digitar.ee.
Yeah, I'm putting it in. I'll put it in Discord, dude. Right.
Okay.
I'll put it in Twitch right now, actually.
Awesome.
But the link is also visible at Wiki, I think, now.
It's awesome, dude. Load it up. It's a whole. The landing page is a huge bear.
Yeah,
You
it's
win the
something
style
that I
points.
really
Yeah, this is
I was
cosmetically.
drawing
This
that.
is definitely the best MUME community site for sure.
I gotta check this out
Oh,
here.
great.
Oh, How to Roar. Wow.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That's great.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell
This
yeah.
is amazing. What can I wear as a bear?
Classic.
Nothing.
Classic. It's got the classic MUME community hallmark of where the like updates are like referencing like 2006 and stuff. You know? Brand new. Good news, March 2006. The page is brand new. No, this is classic. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I
I've
hope
come
I
across
can
this and
update it.
It's fun. And it has a nice it's got a nice style, a nice tone. It's fun. So shout out to How to Roar.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I remember I used it when I created my first bear. Like I was looking. I remember looking at your website.
So did you predate Fane, or were you two like at the same time?
I think I started first, and there were not many bear players at all because bears were like, what are those? Those are weak races. Nobody wanted to play them. But then when I started to play, then I think also other players came along. So I'm happy to be part of promoting bears.
And before we get into the Vizio, which is kind of the main big project you two have been working on, would you guys mind like explaining kind of when you came back and what prompted you to start working on some of this stuff?
MuMeM might be muted again.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries, man. No worries. We're a very kind of a sloppy podcast.
Apparently, this is just the
go
podcast
ahead.
of silence.
No,
It's a meditative reflective
Experience.
podcast.
I have this delay with the Twitch, and then I also see people are talking later and earlier, and getting confused with that too.
Yeah, it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, MuMeM. What brought you back, and what made you want to start kind of working on some of this project?
What brought me back was actually the map. Like I said, I played a fair share in the 90s. Back then at the university with friends, and we played a couple of maps and also MUME. And we also had our own mat running there at the university, which we developed, and also had player killing in there, and trolls and sun death and things like that. So really was a very nice time, and I always liked that the ideas of this mats. Yeah, the social behind it, the text thing, and back the feeling then that we had back at the university.
Yeah.
So I always explored a little bit, but it never really caught on again. And then I saw the mapper from MUME, and then hey, let's try it out, let's see it. And I had my own set map back in the days where I mapped the location west of Brie actually. And now I saw how big it is, and I wanted to explore all the places that I never could find before, and I never dared to go to. It's much safer now. So with the map, I started playing again.
Classic.
And then,
Just curious, when you say how did you see the mapper? Like, did you check the website, or did you come across it? Like how did you kind of encounter the mapper to pull you back in?
I think I was just exploring a little bit, and then I saw MUME, and I saw it on the homepage, and I saw, hey, wow, that's cool, and now I can see something, and then I downloaded the mapper, and then I connected it via the mapper, and then I saw, hey, I can see where I am, I don't get lost anymore. And then I really had something, wow, that's it, I want to do that again. And
So that's it. So did you see when you went to the website? Did you see the YouTube video? I guess that shows the map. Is that what you saw? I'm just curious. We're always, we get so few new users. We're always so curious how people what triggers people to jump back in or jump in for the first time.
yeah, it was on MuMe.org, so I got to MuMe.org, and then I saw this graphical map. And actually, this is what then made me curious, and then via
Awesome.
YouTube, then I see it, and yeah, exactly, that's it.
Love it, love it. Maybe we should just overhaul the homepage to just be a big picture of the map.
That's honestly
Awesome.
not,
Okay,
Yeah,
not a bad idea.
to attract new players, this is certainly something, because I mean, back in the 90s, we had the whole mud in our head, and we really could run around with the head and with the map in the head. But now you just don't have the time also anymore to get so deep into the game. You need
Right.
to have some help there to move around and orientate yourself.
It's also so big now, so like I don't even think you could feasibly know all of the map without a mapper. Like I don't think you could.
Yeah.
That's too big.
Well, I came back for the birthday event.
Oh, no
I'm
way!
always-
Really?
Awesome.
This past one that just happened?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Now, a few months
awesome.
ago.
Wow.
And all the social media action is also getting noticed, I think. And that we have a Discord now.
Mm-hmm.
I was familiar with it because I was playing Minecraft with my kids, so I had Discord account already. But yeah, the social media rocks now.
Okay.
We have to be
Interesting.
there.
Interesting. What social media did you find it on? Just Discord or?
On Facebook, I
Oh.
think the event was first
Okay. Yeah.
advertised on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. So the Facebook is effective still.
But I'm also already But I'm already part of the community. So how to be noticeable for new players? That's the
Right.
question.
I would say that's the $1 million question, but probably it's more like the $50 question. But yeah, we have not cracked that one yet. That is the tough one. How to reach truly new users. Yeah. That's so awesome. So both of you guys have come back relatively recently due to kind of community and overall sort of, social promotional type efforts. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Also because of the podcast, I have to say. Because I also watching Twitch and watching other things, and then at some time you look if there is something in MUME, and then so, oh yeah, indeed there is a MUME channel, no activity, and then suddenly activity popped up there, and hey, listen, and hey, cool, I can remember back in the 90s, some 30 years ago how it was,
Awesome.
and yeah, it is just this noise that you're creating, and people then see something, click into, and then get excited, and then also when I started here, there's this other Children of Iluvatar side where I got a lot of help, and community is really, really friendly. I mean, that's really something that there's so many nice people around here that what really makes me stick. Then also the nice people, the helpful people. That's really, really awesome.
What was
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
What was that site that you mentioned? Children of Ilvartar?
Children of Iluvatar, it was one of the Newbie sites, one of the Newbie projects that was brought up. It's there is now the Newbie channel in the official MUME, and it's not that much used anymore. But back then, it was also my connection then to the more experienced players, and I could ask all my silly and stupid questions. So that also helped me stick around.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I didn't know about that site at all.
Awesome.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about that either.
It's fantastic,
Sorry
man.
there.
It's fantastic.
And
that's
you-
really cool.
You
Yeah.
two both kind of exploded back on the scene, especially when on the Discord, where all of a sudden there was these two just mystery people just creating
Blasted.
tons of projects in the client side of thing, and everyone was like, "Who are these people?" So today is the face reveal where we find out you guys are in fact real people. There's definitely some rumors there that like MuMeM was like some Silicon Valley guru who like just who found MUME and was like, I bet I could fix that, and was messing around with it.
Well, let's jump into it, man. Let's,
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
show this stuff off.
So
man.
first things first, you guys have several projects running, but specifically we're gonna be looking at the Vizio project today. And we're going to go through a full install, so anyone who is watching can see basically how to get it. So we're going to switch over to a screen share right now, and we're going to move this out of the way. I give up. Oh my goodness.
And you, I think MuMeM was asking, man, if you could also share it to Discord just so he can watch it in real time, maybe, if that works. Or...
Sure, I can do that.
How to roar. I love that.
Should be able to see that. Oh my goodness, so much screenception happening right now. Okay, so you can head over to. So in order to make this work, you're going to need Mudlet. We're not going to go through how to install Mudlet for everyone, but
real quick, hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, MuMeM, if you want to watch his stuff live in Discord, you go to like voice channels, general. You go to his name, and it says live in red right there, and you
I
click.
see it now. Great.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it too. Okay, we're good to go. Okay,
Thanks.
Okay.
roll.
So we go to where's the best place to find this GitHub? Is there a link somewhere in the Discord that people can find and click on?
Yeah,
Yes,
imagine.
it's a
Let's
Discord.
pretend that Slaya knows nothing. What would
Yeah.
that be like? Let's
Yeah.
just pretend.
How do I find this?
Discord. It's all done via Discord currently.
Okay.
So in Discord, if you go to Discord, there are this channel or however you call it, and there I post the different add-ons that I'm doing, and I also refer them to the GitHub pages.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to post the link for this GitHub here in the chat. I'm also going to include it in the YouTube video as well when this comes out, so that anyone who's watching can go directly to it. But yeah, if you're looking for how to get there organically, through the Discord is the best way to go. All right, so we're here at the GitHub. So first thing you said is you got to go down to this code here, the Lua install package, right? You copy this.
Easiest one, yeah.
You go to Mudlet and you just paste it into the command prompt, right? Just like that. We hit go, and it says package installed successfully. Okay, great.
Exactly. And
Then I
then
need-
restart.
I need
Always
to-
restart.
Restart Mudlet.
Just seeing the words "package installed successfully" is already beyond like 80% of software projects every day. A great first step.
So what do I do from here?
Okay, now you need to type M package manager, MPKGMGR. It's also on the website.
All right, so right
Exactly.
here it says MPKGMGR. Great, and we go
And
back
it's a
here
MUME package manager.
and copy and paste because I don't like typing for someone who's a.
And then you get the
text-based
package manager. And actually, with the package manager, you can do the rest.
Bam! So it's right here. This comes up, and now from this, make sure that it's all the way up on the screen so you can see the buttons on the bottom. Are we doing a full install of everything, or are we just doing Vizio?
Just click on Vizio, and then
Okay.
you click on install. Then all the dependencies are also installed via the package manager.
Okay, great. And it says installed, up to date. Hasn't installed a couple things. I assume these are still projects that you're working on, or
Communication is for that you have the chat via GMCP. gprompt is deprecated in favor of prompt, and prompt is a new prompt, a graphical prompt that I'm just heavily discussing with the community of how to best visualize the health bar in MUME. Maybe we have found a way now, and you also can see the other things that you see in the prompt, like the landscape, the darkness, your weight, things like that, your position, opponent bars, and things like that.
okay, great. So we're not going to install those, correct? Do we need to do anything with the sync button or no?
The sync button just updates the package list
Okay.
in real time.
And it says we're all up to date.
Yep.
So from here, what we close and open again, right?
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna close this, close
The
Mudlet,
window.
open Mudlet again, connect to MuMe, and here we are. Awesome.
Show your password on screen.
Yes, so we're going to, so first, on this little window off to the side here, which I don't think you can see on screen yet. There we go. Let's see here. Let's move this over here. Should be able to see that now. This is a little window off to the side. You can move it around. We're going to move it over to the top of the screen, I think.
Yeah.
So it's right there. And this is this little area below logging. This is just kind of the output of what's going on, right? So we can.
It's for now. It's for the POC where we can see what is going on indeed, and later it will not be needed anymore.
Okay. Should we cover that up or leave that open?
Just cover it up.
All right, we're going to cover that up and go here. And from here, we're going to disappear for a second while I do password stuff. There we go. That's not the right button.
Yeah, we don't want to give away the fact that your password is Peter is super cool.
How did you guess my password that fast, dude? That's crazy. All right, we're gonna spam that a little bit. All right, display back on. And here we are. Okay, so what is the next step from here? Let me move this into a better spot right there.
Click on activate.
All right, click on activate. Boom. Let me move my face also so that I'm not in the way of everyone. Let's flip this around here. How do we do this? Transform. Boom. Oh, wow.
And then download the images.
Download images. This button up top. All right, great. Let me scroll down here. It says file download started. Image pack successfully unzipped.
Now deactivate and activate again, and it should redraw.
Deactivate. Activate. Bam!
And here we are.
We got an image. All right. So we are currently in the common room of the foaming mug. And so this is an image of essentially an AI generated image that Freyja made of what this, like a kind of a representation of what we're looking at right here, right?
Yes.
Oh, and right here.
The artwork is going to her.
Let's make this a little bit bigger if we can. There we go. That's a little bit better. Can people see this on stream? Is this big enough? Let me turn it off.
I can see it.
it.
Looks good to me. I can't. I'm just intrigued by this little bartender tile. That's amazing.
Yeah. So we got this is the mob here in the room, right? The bartender, and this is what he shows up as. What happens if I click it? What does this do? It's selected now.
Currently it doesn't do anything, but in the future, if you can select it, for example, then you have the icons in the middle bar, and one of them is bash, one of them is kick, so you can interact and have some combat, maybe show a list of items, off rank, things like that. It is, you can select it, and then in the middle bar, then you interact with the selection that you made.
Okay.
At least that's the idea.
Wow. That is so cool.
That is amazing. And when this woman walks in and out of the room, you can see her icon popping up, and not only popping up, it updates and disappears when she leaves. Hopefully she walks in again.
So it actually updates in real time?
Yes. It's using all GMCP data. That's why I'm so communicative about GMCP data, because then we don't have to pass any output which is error prone, and we can do all this via GMCP, and it's awesome. I also have to say the help that I receive, both from Chahara and Duin. It's really, really great. Nice additions in the last time.
This is beautiful. In terms of so let's talk about this compass here. So this is not just an artwork piece, right? These are buttons.
You move via the idea behind Vizio is that you completely can play MUME, at least in the POC and the starter zones, completely without any command prompt at all. You can do everything only with interaction with the mouse and point and click.
Okay. So let's try going a direction here. Let's go east. So we click on that. All right, we went east, and now we've got a new bit of artwork here. We're in the Foaming Mugs Beer Garden. So what is the, I guess I should ask, so you've got the kind of the whole, another output of what the game is sending here with the room name and the room description. And that's the same as what's being spit out by Mudlet on the bottom here. Is there a reason for duplicates here, or is the idea to only have one?
The idea is that you go to the brief modes down in the lower section, and then you only see the most vital information on the lower section, and you have the long description then in the upper section.
Okay.
And you have also the image that is supporting the text. I think it's very interesting to still have the text. That's why I don't wanted to remove it.
Yeah.
So that you have the image, you have the setting, you have the scenery, and then you read the text giving you the full detail.
Oh, that's so cool. So you would have the description always there so you can see it and read it and like be in the atmosphere, but it's not taking up vital space at the bottom where like the actual action's happening. So like if you need to focus, you can. That's really nice.
If we go to the top left corner and scroll a little bit down, just with the mouse, because you have this separator item now. Scroll down with the mouse.
How far down?
With the mouse wheel.
Oh, I see. Oh,
That's
gotcha.
it. So let's go.
Yeah, I see what that did. Oh, I see how it works. Okay, and then are these buttons as well? You can also click on south and west
You can also
here.
click on these to move. Yeah.
All right, let's click on that, and that works again. Wow, that is great. Let's talk about a little bit the artwork before we get into the rest of this here. So, Freyja, you come up with these images. And these are AI generated. What program are you using to build these?
Generated with Midjourney AI.
Okay.
And this bot can be included to any Discord server. So that's the good part, that we are working on Discord, and the Midjourney also is working on Discord already.
Okay.
So we have a little private server for that, where all those images are generated. We can maybe later see how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, just move around in the game at the moment.
Okay. Well, so I have not explored.
So the best images.
Where are the best images?
The best images end up in the client at the moment, and it's a manual job, and everything's about prompt writing. So yeah.
So for each room, you have to come up with an individual image and then load it in. But you can't just you were mentioning earlier, you don't just like type in like, all right, I want an image of a tavern or something, because I assume not all of them come out looking like you want them to.
At first, I was hoping that we could do everything automatically, like just put 22,000 MUME rooms into the AI prompt, but it doesn't work so good. So sometimes I have to rewrite the prompts, or most of the time now.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be automated in the future.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Oh, go ahead.
No, I was to say one thing that interests me is, I mean, we've seen like 3 or 4 rooms. Maybe you should spam around some more, Peter.
Yeah.
But is the overall kind of visual style seems pretty consistent across these rooms. Like I would believe that this is, it's coherent across rooms, right? And that was one thing I was a little worried about when I first heard folks were working on this, is just the idea that you might like the style of one room might be completely different aesthetically or conceptually from the room next to it. It might be kind of jarring, but I gotta say overall these seem pretty coherent throughout Bree. Is that, I'm guessing that's something you work hard on, Freyja, or tell us about that.
What would be the best to generate the images? And those keywords, now that we have them, like it has to be fantasy, it has to be digital painting, it has to be cinematographic, it has to be, what else is there? Dynamic lighting, ultra detailed. So if we are using those keywords within the prompts, then it comes up with the same style. So that's how it could be automated, because it could be regenerated.
So you're setting basically a lot of aesthetic or visual context via the prompt, and the room description just sort of like one component of it. Is that fair? Is that accurate? Or?
Yeah. So we need a variable is that the room description or the room name or whatever we want it to be, and in the end of the prompt are always the same keywords, that it has to be, I forgot to mention the Tolkien style, because that's also important. And then it generates the same or similar style images.
Wow, I'm just walking around this. This is beautiful. This is so immersive. I'm not gonna lie. This is amazing. And then you developed the images for all of these, like the fox we're showing here as well, right? And the bartender we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
For
a great looking wife right there.
I think the cook came out pretty sexy. So
where's the cook? We have to go find the cook.
Yeah, let's go find.
Old men or yeah, looking like Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also younger people, so I wanted it to have those variables and look different. And for characters, we have different prompt, and the idea is to give a dark gray background for them, so they could really pop out. And we are still working on it, like what's working best. Like I can't use the full image or the full body for the characters because the icon is too small. It's better to use only maybe faces. And it's work in progress.
Wow, this looks amazing. For this right here, if I scroll over this door here, the front door, and it says it's closed, I can use this to like open and manipulate the door, right?
Sure.
Nice. And is that possible over here on the compass as well?
If you middle click on the east side, exactly.
Okay, middle click on this.
You get the icons open, close. You can scout, lock, unlock, walk. The middle one is the walk then, and pick lock, door bash. So you have
Okay.
this small hut that is coming up and allows you to interact with the object.
Okay. Wow, this is great. Let's do it. Let's see if we can scout. Oh, it's closed. All right, we're gonna open it and then we're gonna scout it real quick. No.
But it's also the small details that you see. If you see on the left side, the open and the close, and then you see the square brackets, the round brackets, and things like that. So that also, if you're new to the game, then you also get these visual clues to play later then. What is an open and close? You see it here, like the open door, it's round. On the closed door, it's a square brackets that you can then find back on the lower side. So if you then switch from the visual to the power interface, you already know the subtle hints.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, especially since it's always there as a visual reminder. Because I mean, I can't remember exactly how it was as a newbie, but I'm pretty sure I remember. You like where you are location wise gets lost in the spam, and then you forget what directions are where, and so this like gives you a nice little visual clue, like by the way, these are closed and open. Wow.
So so Freyja, how many? I'm guessing your current workflow is, as you said, is pretty manual. Like you try a prompt, you take a room, you prompt it, you wait, you get the image, you check it, you kind of personally inspect it. How many images or how many rooms have you done, I should say?
Oh, good question. We have the data, MuMeM. How many rooms we have at the moment? Close to 100, I think.
Okay. And these are all kind of in the Black Hill Village
But,
area?
Yes, and Hall of Mandos and even Garden of Fëanor. But yeah, as we are targeting the newbie zones, so this is where the manual work goes at the moment. But of course, I've generated a lot more images because there is a trial and error all the time.
Right. And where, Mimim,
The
I'm curious.
best one.
Oh yeah, Mimim, where do you like? Are these sitting on your web server somewhere, or are they sitting in GitHub? Like, where are the images sitting?
Yeah. Now, first we have 100 rooms and 50 different mobs now. Some statistics, and they are currently you can download with the download images, and they are there's an image pack on the GitHub.
On the GitHub.
And these images are currently downloaded to the client.
Right.
And then the client loads them directly from the disk. Idea in the future is to have some APIs or something with the caching that you can directly load them. A CDN, exactly, some CDN that you can download it from the CDN, and then I don't know how fast this is. It will also cost more money then. So it depends. They are not so big actually. So downloading still is an option, not for whole MuMe, but for a lot of the parts. I think you can cache them. And that's also something that also with Freyja is bringing up, and I really like the idea of her is that people that actually can generate this themselves. So that we have some mechanism that people can generate it, then we support them with all the text that Freyja is saying that we need, so then to enhance the image. and then we can bring this image then to the room and then have some voting mechanism if we have more people, so that players can vote for
Amazing.
it, pay for it, and the people then will grow the database by playing the game.
It's amazing. You guys have absolutely incredible ambition. I love it. It's
Wow.
blowing me away. But
Like a little indie game studio.
yeah, because one thing I was thinking about, I mean, if we used a professional CDN that had some transcoding, we could make it so that, by like as you're spamming around by default, you're just downloading a lower resolution version, and then if you stay in a room a while, it downloads more and transcodes up, something like that. But
a funny detail here is it is actually not the loading time that was the problem in the beginning. The problem is that Madlet don't have a built-in hashing algorithm. So I had
okay.
to use an MD5 hash.
Right.
Madlet is using Lua 5.1, which cannot do bit operations. Everything was pretty fast, but I always took me 0.2 seconds for just calculating the MD5 hash.
Right.
Now we are using SHA-1, which is much faster. We have found a better implementation. But in the end, I think the best would be to have the room ID supplied directly via GMCP. This also would solve a lot of other problems that we are currently having with mmapper, for example. When typos are added and fixed, no, not added, when typos are fixed somewhere, then the hash changes. So
Yep.
in this case, if MuMeM directly supports them via GMCP, we can have the images, we can have the
Feed
image
by
associated
identifier.
directly to the room.
Yeah. That fuzzy kind of room fuzzy ID problem has been a classic one for 20 years. I know lots of folks have worked. I've actually been trying to research fuzzy document hashing or even like document embedding approaches to maybe we could just compute fuzzy embeddings for room descriptions and then look them up that way. But yeah, I wonder. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say to your hash problem. So does Mudlet use Lua 5.1? I thought it used a newer Lua because I know So I use Mesh Client. Mesh Client uses Lua 5.1, and I had a similar problem for a bunch of things. And what I wound up doing was using LuaJIT, because if LuaJIT is a kind of a fork of Lua 5.1 with a just-in-time compiler, and it gives you a built-in FFI library, so you can talk to external DLLs. It also gives you built-in bitwise operations. So I actually I actually have two versions basically of the same library. I have a Lua version that is uses the built-in bitwise operations for SHA 1 and 2 hashing, and then I have one that just calls out to a DLL that's much faster. But I mean, if it's the case that it uses Lua 5.1, you can drop and replace the DLLs with the LuaJIT ones. They're binary compatible. So, and it's made to be binary compatible. So you can just copy paste those DLLs over top of the stock Lua DLLs, and that's one way you could get a free, FFI and bitwise operations in Lua 5.1.
Yeah, this would solve it on my part, but it will not solve it on the people installing it, because then they all would do the same, and then this is getting too cumbersome, I think, for the people. So I think the really good solution that we have here is sending the room ID via the GMCP, and then we also have the same room ID for all our different clients, and we can work all together. And we will not expose more information to the clients by sending a room ID, because with the hash we have that now anyway. I understand that with Macy's and other things, then this will be a problem. But I already talked with Chahara also about that one, and I hope that we can, or MUME developers can send them together with the room info we are getting. Because this would solve the root problem that we have everywhere.
Well, yeah, it would solve a bunch of problems for mappers as well, with the exact same problem you mentioned when they change something they have to do a fuzzy text comparison to try to get the room to figure out, is this the same room that's just been changed, and it's not 100% accurate all the time. And if we actually had a room ID from GMCP or through XML or whatever, that would be very helpful.
No, I also saw at the beginning when I started playing, like I said, I liked the mapper, and I really was wow mapper, and I do it. And then I logged in, and I was in Black Hill Village, and then I moved. And suddenly the mapper was broken.
Yeah,
I had something.
that's
Really?
yeah, we got it. It's a heartbreaker. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we try to be. I'm not saying anything critical about anybody who works their ass off on the map. You know, we're very pro builders on this podcast, but they change like literally two moves, like west south in Blackrock Village from where you pray the first time. That room doesn't sync anymore. It's like such a like every little newbie I make and I go there. I'm like,
Exactly,
what?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like 2 rooms away from where you pray. I'm not. Yeah, I think maybe that. I hope we can maybe fix that or just update the map, especially the map on the.
No, but again, also here, if we
website.
send a room ID, this just would keep on working, and we
Yeah.
would frighten away people that are there for the mapper, and they already get the best experience right from the start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this work and this demo you guys are showing here is amazing, and I think this demo is the absolute best case is the absolute best case you could ever make for such a feature request. So we'll see what what folks say. I do want to say I very much agree with you. I want to echo what you said, MuMeM, about management. Like a lot of people in the community, especially those who are just completely addicted to PK, feel that management is out to get them, or like there's just a pretty broken relationship between the PK community and PK community and management. But when you actually like interact with them on stuff they're working on, like the GMCP stuff, they're like working their ass off. They're incredibly responsive. It's really cool to see. So I sent a few very small feature requests to Dane, and he was eager and did them, and he coded them up really quick, and I was blown away. So despite what the rather despite what the PK community has to say, I've actually been continually super impressed by the work ethic and flexibility and receptiveness of the management. So we'll see what they say about
I only can second that. Also, the interaction I had Chahara and doing it's really great with the buffers and GMCP and the information sent and bug fixes. Really, really great. And I'm convinced that that's the only way to go forward anyway. Because
100%.
it cannot be we versus them or something. It must be together. If we
100%.
cannot do this together, it doesn't make any sense to go further here. Because then we always will keep on fighting, and then we always will only do bug fixing, and we will never get any constructive work done. So it must be
100%.
together.
Yeah, and I 100%. I really feel, I almost feel in the big grand scheme of things, GMCP is as big of a change as Mapper was. Like I think 10 years from now we'll look back and we'll say the two biggest evolutions of the overall playing experience were Mapper and just the decision to go after GMC support, because it opens up so many things. You can do anything with it. It's just incredible.
Absolutely. I only can second that. If I also have the chat add-on that I have, or the prompt add-on, without GMCP, it would be so much more error-prone and difficult to do
Totally.
things like that.
Totally. But so you guys, Frey, I mean, this is so cool. I mean, it's amazing. The momentum and the execution you guys are putting out here. Are there drawbacks? Like, do you guys envision this mostly as kind of a newbie facing way, but not for, like, do you guys kind of conceptualize this as a way to onboard newbies? Or do you think that, do you anticipate, or do you dream of a world where literally everybody is using this all across the map? Or like, how do you see this? How do you hope for this to kind of evolve, big picture?
Yeah, you go
Hoping
first.
that there will be another version for the regular players where you can use the background images and have maybe just 2 windows, one for the text, where it's the picture as the background, and then you can use your preferred mapper, and that's for the experienced players. But with the Vizio, this is right now for the newbie friendly version.
Can we show an example of what that would look like? Is it under more? Is that where it was?
Yeah, more than background.
Go to more, import, or background. Okay, all right, gotcha. And then you can unstretch that, and you can give that kind of a look to it, and you
can cycle through different states of the background.
You can be running around like that.
Dim down a little bit, so it doesn't have to be so visual, but you get a hint of something that's there, so it won't overwhelm the gaming experience with all those visuals, but maybe a little something.
Give it kind of like a little, a little extra something there. How do you get rid of it? Is there a way to get rid of it, or you just keep clicking? Oh, wow, you can just cycle through it. Look at that. Yeah. Nice. So we had some questions about the buttons here.
Version.
We had some questions about the buttons here. These are, I'm assuming, like you get some eat and sleep, or eat and drink and sleep, and these eventually would be just. I assume they would do what they look like they do. Would there be a plan to add more, or is this kind of what you're like, just a beta kind of idea?
It's currently just a tech review, but there will be some actions then that you need as a newbie to play, like attack, things like that. Okay. And then there will be also a part that you can configure yourself. So you can just say add a certain action to that, execute something like an alias or something that you are making, but then in a visual way.
Okay, got it. And then out of curiosity, for these like icons for the mobs in the room, is there a plan to have like a drop down menu of how you would interact with them, or are they just there for visual aesthetic, or like could you like right click it and be like attack or ride or something like that? Okay,
that's the plan. So you can middle click it for a hut, or right click it for a pull down, or you select it and then select the action on the action bar that you want to do. Like in the World of Warcraft or all these multiplayer online games, it's a little bit the same mechanism. You select something, and then you have your bar, and on the bar you can say which action you want to apply to that one, and the action can even or the bar can even change depending on your selection.
Okay, yeah. So you could theoretically
just imagine where it can go if we include player avatars.
Yeah, absolutely. You could bash and flee, or I guess you wouldn't flee. You wouldn't put flee in that, but you could have much more easily directed combat and communication with players. You could even just like have like tell, and then that could pop out like a little chat window for you to talk to that person in or something.
But also for visualization, so you can make you can make a visual of yourself and put it there, and you can see the different players. Then also you can see their avatar, you can see their created avatar.
It also helps a lot, just again for newbies, with regards to spam, like understanding what is and isn't in the room, And then up here so you're also planning on some drop downs for character equipment inventory, that kind of stuff. These are all just kind of concepts right now.
Exactly. So you have the character window where you get the info, you get the equipment where you can see the equipment, you can manipulate your equipment, you can wield things, you can remove things, you can wear things. The same with the inventory, move things from the equipment to the inventory, things like that.
Wow.
So these are all the plans. Also here, like we said before, GMCP would be a great part in here, because if we can get all this information via GMCP, then we don't need to pass the lists, but we can have a really API interaction with the client and can make all this happen. Always also brings me back to the question you had before: how do we see this going forward? I think, or I envision it, is that we have this 100% point and click interface for the first, 10 levels or something, where you have the complete point and click, and you learn it, you go through it, you get the experience. And then in the next levels, then you switch from this point and click to some combined actions where you still see all the images, where you still use the compass, but you also learn to use the command line. And this will then bring you, say, up to Brie or something like that. And then further, then you will go forward and then really a power user on the command line with supporting elements. Like Freyja mentioned, that we have a small window that gives you the sphere or a background image, or you have, like we have it in the M map, but this room panel, that you have a more graphical room panel where it's visualized which mobs are in the room, who is attacking whom, how are they hurt, how wounded are they, things like that. So there are so many things that we can visualize.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we've all had the experience of trying to bring in a friend to MUME, like, hey man, just try it. And usually my experience of that is always, they're like, well, this makes no sense. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I am. I don't know where to go. And it's just unintuitive in general. But I'm blown away looking at this, just how intuitive it feels. Like, this feels like you could show it to anyone and they could at least figure out, like, oh, okay, I can move around a little bit here, and there's looks like there's a field mouse in my room, and I'm kind of in a farm area, like it's very intuitive here, which has been MUME's biggest weak point, I think, when it comes to bringing in movies.
South now, south and west.
You want west? Go south and west. Where are we going here?
Another west, I think.
Here.
No, east and then south. Oh, no, here south. South from there.
Here.
It's the best image that Freyja.
Oh, we got that.
Really we got the pigs. And then when I saw this the first time, I really fell on the floor laughing. It was just going to this stable and you see this pig staring at you. That's awesome.
Adds an extra layer of character.
I also like the level of detail that Freyja is adding. So it's if you look at the compass, for example, then you see the points where you can move. So you can move north, and the other one is grayed out.
Mm-hmm.
If you deactivate, for example, now, so if you click on deactivate,
okay.
You see that also that it's completely gone, and also on the deactivated, you see that the eye is closed.
Yeah. Wow.
And if the room is not found, then there is still an open eye. So she is setting so much incredible details that you don't really see in the first moment, but it adds so much fear. It exposes you so much to this. Yeah,
it gives like a really fluidity,
awesome. Wow.
A continuity to it. I love how these are like grayed out, giving you like an idea of like what direction you actually can go. Yeah, let's do that again. Wow, that's great.
It's really awesome. I mean,
but we are still far from the minimum viable product. This is just to show off something.
Yeah, this is a tech demo. We're in tech demo land right now. Oh yeah, so then we got the eye open.
Exactly.
Wow, that is beautiful. That's fantastic. So how much?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, go for it.
No, I just gotta say, we had Roland on the pod, and that was an awesome episode because he talked about how I was just imagining that journey where he starts playing MUME via Telnet at the library at school, and he's like, I can make this experience better. And now we have Mapper. I mean, I know I'm glossing over. I know a ton of people worked on it, but just like that level of just like taking one experience and kind of having this really bold vision, and then the follow through to like just like fundamentally level it up, I thought was so impressive. And it's cool that you guys have like almost an entirely, the next phase, the next generation of that kind of boldness on top of it. It's really cool to see. It's really inspiring.
So are you two pretty much so what does the actual team working on this look like? It's you two, I assume Jahar is in there as well. Who else is helping work on this project?
In the core, it's the two of us.
That's it, I think.
That's pretty much it? Wow. You guys just, wow. Damn. Is there any...
Well, it's open for everybody who wants to generate the images. We have the server for that. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you are stuck with us. Anyone can join and jump in and do something for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's community driven. And if they are not doing it, then I would also say big thanks to the community, because the feedback and the motivation comes from the feedback and what has been given. And if people are loving it or cheering or, cheering along, it also motivates us to do more. So thank
Only
you
can
for the
second that. It's
community.
the feedback that we receive from the community. I mean, that is really, really great. It helps us so much to improve it. And what I'm also trying to do on a development level is I want to keep it as modular as possible. So I don't want to have one big thing that is one big monolith. Have it as modular as possible. For example, if you have the character or the equipment page, now someone could just make a complete own add-on for the equipment and the character, and then we can use it here. And then we have multiple things that different people can work on, and then click them together. Even more then you can self-decide which set you want to have. So in the beginning, you want to have the newbie set with a lot of things, and then you just start removing more and more or adding different things and have your own experience. So that's the whole idea behind it, to foster cooperation, because we can't do it alone. Let's be realistic about that one.
Mm-hmm.
We have real life and jobs, and this is just a weekend night project.
Mostly night.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, you guys have done an incredible job so far. And Knack brings up a good point in the comments, which I'm sure this is often a dreamland here, but this is a good showcase of how a point and click would work, and a point and click, once you've got that down, that does translate to a mobile style app that opens the door for that down the road, which I'm sure we'd all love to see. But that would never be feasible until something like this gets fleshed out.
Absolutely, it's a good showcase for that, and I think it's absolutely doable. And if you're in the beginning, was also a little bit scared from, hey, can we do this always point and click? And there are so many things that you can do. But especially if you concentrate on the first 10 levels, there isn't so much that you have to do. There is not so much backstab or different spells or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all pretty straightforward. It's you hit the attack button, you have some actions, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really do something about that one. If you go to PK, that's a completely different topic then. So that I didn't even think about that yet.
Yeah, but that's again, that like you said, this is a step-by-step thing. If we can just nail the first 10 levels, that's still that would probably do more for the game than anything else, quite frankly, just in terms of bringing on some new players.
Big step forward.
Exactly. This is amazing stuff. Is there anything that I missed to showcase here that you'd like for us to see?
No, I really like the hut. I think this is something that has a huge potential for other things. For monsters interaction, for other interaction, for inventory interaction, things like that. By middle clicking and then getting this hut in the context, that's really great. Just lost your light. Now you don't see anything anymore.
Yeah, I figured that out.
So and yeah, I think that's that I really like that.
Okay, awesome. Did
And also what I
go
want to
ahead.
mention it is what Freyja already started doing. I really like that idea. If you have now east, for example, then you also get an indication of what is east. So, for example, a road, or if there is water or something. So she already created overlays for the direction. That if there is on the east there is a water, then you see a water image there. Or if there is a road, then you see a road. Or it's a mountain, then you see it's a mountain path going there. That there are so many of these subtle small things that you can do. It's sky's the limit, guys.
Mm-hmm. What were we talking? Where do you see that there's like a road off to the east or whatever? Where were we saying that?
For example, if you just see that you can go east now.
Yeah.
She created an overlay on the east. Then you don't only see the east, but you see a water with the east.
Another version.
Oh, it's a
in
different.
the future.
Oh, in the future. I see. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so it gives you
It's
like a
in the
little bit
update.
of pre-information about which direction you're moving and what will be over there. Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
with
Like
the
you see it
help of
also
the
now on the
AI.
exits, because
Sorry, you go first.
if we go a little bit more east, then you also see that that there's a road with the dashes and things like that. You should see that.
Somewhere around here.
And G is also visualizing it.
That's a great worm. All right, gotcha.
Kinky things between to have more fun with it. But I would like to see also the community to vote for the images and generate them. So that's the first step. Like,
so yeah,
everything could be changed.
And most of that work is being done in the Discord server you were talking about, the AI Discord, right?
Yes.
Can I show that on stream?
Yeah,
is that
that's
all right to
how-
show, or?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
All right, so it's over here in MuMeM. So what am I looking at here? What should I be clicking on? What should I not be clicking on?
Well, maybe start from the tutorial, the first channel.
Okay, so right here. All right, so it gives you some.
It's a little bit hidden on the screen. But there is this tutorial, like how everybody can start using the Me Journey. It's not a free service entirely. You have 25 images, I think, at the moment you can create for free. And if you start prompting, then it starts your trial. So if anyone wants to look what it is, then that's the tutorial for it. And also the prompt indicators, like what do you have to type in to get the similar images like I've been creating. You can see the keywords there, like the fantasy art, digital painting, and hyper-realistic Lord of the Rings. Those are the keywords that we have to have the similar style.
Okay.
But if you write something between there, where is the room name or the area, that's where you can come up with whatever you need to generate. And the shorter, the better. I found out that about 4 rows for the prompt would be the best. Otherwise, the last part of the prompt will be lost.
Okay, gotcha. Can I show some of these other channels? Do they have images or no?
Yeah, sure. Everything is open for.
Let's try characters.
Maybe take Rivendell.
Oh, wow.
There is a good example.
Where's Rivendell? Oh, Rivendell.
You took the characters.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, these are beautiful. Should be showing off on stream, guys.
And the last part of the prompt is important to say, like, what kind of format you want it to be, a landscape or portrait or bigger or smaller version. So that's the AR prompt in the last
where's that?
2 words.
Oh, okay. The AR prompt. Let's go back to characters.
Yeah, it's the last. AR 1, 2. Yeah, but we are not using this kind of format. For the characters, we have a square.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This guy's beautiful. What is this guy?
Is comes up with.
Is this guy being used yet? He's awesome.
Yeah, it was meant to be the elderly, not herbalist, but who was there. You could practice cleric skills near the Newbie area.
Druid, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Druid.
Oh man, that's awesome.
But I think I used another image for that. But that's where the community comes in, that you start voting that you like this kind of image or another one.
Mm-hmm. Can start giving ideas and is there a way that we could I guess, would you want voting? I don't know. Do you have a concept of how voting would work? Like, we just post these pictures in the main MUME Discord, or only people in the MUME AI vote on them and then they get implemented? Like, what do you have an idea for that, or?
The easiest part would be to join the MuMeM AI community.
Okay.
But in the future, of course, it would be great to have it implemented within the client.
Okay.
Somehow, I don't know yet how. so everyone can start generating and voting, and maybe have a voting prompt writing contest.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And maybe like someone who gets like a certain amount of, if you're able to produce enough images that the community votes on, that you get like some sort of prize in game, like master painter, you get like a smock or something. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, but we can't forget that the Midjourney is not for free, so 25 images per person. And then
That's why we
we
need a lot
need to
of people.
figure out how to work on it
Well,
to get maybe the whole MUME.
this is
visualized.
beautiful. When did you guys start collaborating on this?
I think it was 2 months ago, a little bit after the birthday event.
Okay, so this is a
I
lot of
just-
progress for 2 months.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
A good question, actually, Freyja. How did we start cooperating on that one? You remember? I saw your images and did something, and you how was it?
Not that 2 months is not so long ago.
Yeah.
I can't exactly
No,
remember.
you guys are moving so fast. You can't even, short-term memory. You can't even. Don't even waste time.
It
thinking
was
about
so
the past.
fluid. Like
Ah.
he was doing something and asking me to generate maybe images for that, and I had an idea exactly what he was thinking of, and it was really fluid, like a little indie game studio. So I think the communication is also part of a successful project. So I guess that's working.
We need to get Nazgum up on this. I bet he would be great as well. We could he could redesign the Gandalf area and actually that's a great question. So are you not redesign the Gandalf area, but like streamline the opening character creation is what I was thinking about. But are there any thoughts on how this would incorporate into the Gandalf intro? Is there?
That's a tough one, to be honest. We discussed it also before the stream. I think if you want to really incorporate it to the Gandalf intro, you have to rewrite the Gandalf intro from the MUME side, because the Gandalf intro now is made to teach you the command line. That's exactly what Vizio is trying to
Great
avoid.
point. Yeah, great point. They're fundamentally antithetical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there should be two different intros then, depending which version you're playing, one with Vizio or the other one. So if you start out with Vizio, then you get a more Vizio tutorial oriented Gandalf area, and the compass is explained to you, the icons are explained to you, things like that. If you play by the command line, you get the one that you're having now.
But that kind of prompts a little what might be a controversial question, but I'm curious what you guys say is, do you think Mudlet is a viable growth path for true noobs? Like a random person maybe sees one of our videos on YouTube or sees something on Twitch or sees a cool Reddit thread, like, I want to try this out. And let's say they get to MUME.org, and then what? Do you envision them downloading Mapper and Mudlet, downloading it all, or some kind of, maybe they download a MUME specific bundle of Mudlet that also does Mapper, which I think gets very complicated very fast, especially across platform. Like, do you guys think trying to get true noobs to download Mudlet off the bat is a good strategy? And I curious for your thoughts.
No, it was easiest to test on the Mudlet, but if you ask me, then definitely no. Newbies are not going to download it, integrate it, add the packages. Even I had problems with that. So probably the newbie-friendly version should be something on the web, but I don't know how it's technically possible, so MuMeM can comment on that.
No experience with that, to be honest. I did some web things in the past. So yes, maybe you can do something in the web, but then you immediately get the question, where do you host it, where do you run it, and then you're immediately in the cost discussion. Yeah, I don't know. For Matlet, yes, it works now. I had some experience with Lua writing some of this World of Warcraft add-ons, so I also knew about that one and how to do it. I think for a start, it can work because I think you can pretty easily bundle it. You just need to have an installer wrapped around it that downloads the mapper for you. I'm using Linux, for example. It is just an app image here that you download. Then you download an app image for Matlet. And then you install the package manager, which needs to have some revamps on that one. You don't need to use Matlet at all because you are then in the Vizio, and then you also have the grow path with having aliases and things like that. But honestly, I don't really thought about it in the long run. I don't know. Maybe it's also like that we have a standalone client based on Qt and C++ or something like that. I don't know.
Another
The
question.
good part to see it working.
Yeah, no, I
That's
mean,
software.
I don't mean my, I don't, yeah, I don't mean my question to in any way kind of distort from the absolutely incredible momentum you guys have. So do you guys anticipate for the future just going to keep out cranking rooms, just keep knocking down zones? Is that sort of the plan, throughout the year, or what kind of milestone? I guess that you guys keep mentioning level 10, so you guys are kind of hoping maybe this year you'll hit that milestone where uh the entire newbie journey up through level 10 is all visualized. Is that kind of the next big milestone for you guys, or?
Next milestone would be to visualize the interface a little bit with all the icons and the first part of the window you can see where you can download the images to have it more complete, because it's, like I said, minimum viable product at the moment. But definitely I'm not going to generate 22,000 images annually.
Oh,
So
come
we
on!
need
Wow, come on! What are you talking about? It won't be that bad. Come on, come on.
a solution for that at some point.
Yeah,
You
it's a few weekends
I
right
know you
there.
guys shared the Discord. Do you have your kind of prompt template handy? Like you mentioned, cinematic, lighting, Tolkien. Do you have that sort of, like, do you have a template, like you start with this and then you drop the room description into it? Do you have that handy, Freya, by any chance? Or it might be fun to show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the tutorial is about.
Right
On
here,
the MuMeM
basically.
MuMe AI channel. Yeah.
Is showing this. So basically,
And there is also a topic in the MUME server, Freyja Introduction to Midjourney AI. I think I have this kind of topic there. So if anybody is interested, can look into that. There are all the guides and templates and what's working and why it's not working.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
And I had to learn it myself at first, how to use it or what are the keywords working best for the style. So this is job I have already been doing, and if someone wants to jump on board and contribute more, then at least we have some work already done. Or maybe change something, always open to that. So it's interesting to see where this project will go. And that's also my motivation, like why I'm doing this. It's so much fun.
That's true.
Just pushing the boundaries.
For the fun of it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, right? Just to have a good time with community. So,
Yeah. So we don't want it to become like a third or second job.
Yeah.
At least as long as it's fun, then the work comes easy.
And it's also the targets here are long-term targets. These are not. We don't want to have this finished in a week or in a month or something. I think if we more realistic is in the next 6 months or something, that we have the village, the interaction. Just think about shops. How do you do with shops? What are you doing then with the equipment? How do you equip things? How do you remove things? So this is something that in the next 6 months I would like to target, and the newbie zone around it a little bit. That you can play the first 5 levels or something like that. Easy combat, visualization, see what is in the room. What, for example, is completely missing is items now, because we don't get the item information sent yet. This is also something. How do you interact with the items? And keep it modular. So everyone who wants to join the project, like Freyja already said, help us create these images. But also, if you want to develop something, the character, the equipment, windows, things like that, yeah, join us. And we really need someone who can has understanding of Discord API, so that we can make the link from the client to the automatical generation of images and voting. That would be super cool.
Rogan asks in the chat. Rogan asked in the chat for Freyja. Oh no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just replying to the chat.
Yeah.
If the job needs to be rebuilt, redone, of course, I'm not getting angry, because a lot of new mappers have been made in the past, and they are the basics for something that came later. So yeah, that's the natural way of developing things.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, and they give you a heads up before you start doing that, or they just don't touch any new old zones.
I think that's not the problem. I think this is fair. If things develop, they develop. They go forward. What was really a pain for us, for both Freyja and me, is when we discovered that the MD5 is not working. We had to do everything from the MD5 hashing to the SHA-1 hashing. And we didn't know which MD5 belongs to which room. So we had to recreate and remap all the images. It took me 2 or 3 nights together with Freyja to find the images, map the images again, and have the SHA-1 then attached to it. This is again my appeal from please send us the room ID, because things like that, then they are so much more stable for everyone, and we don't have to deal with that. That's my greatest worry about it. If someone changes the description, the area name, or things, then things break on a high scale.
Yeah, I think I think at minimum, even if they decide not to disclose room IDs, I think at minimum it would be nice if there was like a feed, or even just like a help file somewhere that just said every time they change a room description, just syndicate that fact. Because one challenge is the rooms are updated, and if you're mapping or you're working on a map or something, you have no idea. Like all of a sudden things start syncing, and you're like, wait, did this change? And you try to go back. So I think if they could just syndicate, like have almost a commit log, just like literally just the diffs, that would be very helpful. But another kind of tough, even if they do start syndicating room IDs now, it'll be tricky, because everybody who has a custom map is you're gonna have to revisit every single room to sync the room ID with your own kind of locally stored map.
Not necessarily, because I mean, there's no reason why your map wouldn't continue to work, because mmapper currently is just
your map would still work. Your map would still work fine. I mean, sorry, but how would you get the ID? Like, how would you?
Well, you would have to visit the room to get the ID.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean that it wouldn't break anything existing. It would just be in the future moving forward.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it wouldn't break, but you'd have to do a massive kind of.
And I was thinking about this sort of while you are talking. I mean, you have like the hash issue, and it's like, well, I mean, you could even have something like you tell a request. You could have like 99% of people are using mmapper. You could have mmapper generate a hash, like send it a GMCP request. It spits back through GMCP a hash, right? And then if it doesn't detect the immappers running, you fall back to using the native Lua, but that still doesn't solve the actual problem, of when they change something, the hash changes. Same thing, you could have a way in GMCP to query mmapper, what is mmapper's internal VNum for the room. That still doesn't solve the problem that everyone's using different map files. There is no one central map file.
Right.
So it's like you could use your map that you created, Terran, and someone else could be using Fane's map, which is in wide circulation, and
Right.
those VNums aren't going to always match.
Yeah.
So
The good news is if given two documents which are basically paragraphs in this context, given two paragraphs, which have been one of which, they started out being identical copies, and one of them has been lightly edited by a human being within kind of the general rules and conforms of the English language. There's actually a ton of algorithms that will help you measure that similarity and reconcile.
You have like the Levenstein distance, which is what all the mappers use, including mine. Like all mappers use this to determine.
There's a ton of stuff like that. I just wish one thing. I wish like if they just said, here is the most 100 recent room edits before and after. We could at least
it would
play
just be a
around
huge. It would be a huge maintenance burden on them, though, because
no. I'm not saying no. I'm not suggesting that be used programmatically. I'm just saying like right now, I was gonna play around with like trying to use some like document like paragraph embedding algorithms to measure similarity between an old version and a edited version of a room. But like I don't have I'm just going around manually editing the room description myself to simulate the process. I don't have like the basically I don't have the scope of what like the typical I don't have any like kind of perspective on what are the typical types of typo or edit changes that they make.
So normally if a room gets changed, whether it's a description or e-descriptions or anything like that, it's usually a hotfix type thing that's prompted by a bug report, unless it's like a full zone redo, which is a totally different thing, obviously. For the most part, those things aren't handled by anyone in particular. Someone will read a bug report, maybe a supervisor who was previously in charge of that zone, maybe they'll hop and fix it. Maybe a Valor will hop and fix it. Maybe they'll just ask the builder, like, hey, by the way, there's a typo here, or this doesn't make sense anymore. Can you change that sentence? And you'll hop and fix it, and then that'll be like a 5-second, 10-second conversation. You fix it in 1 minute. And so it's very off the cuff. It's very quick, and it's kind of difficult to keep track of it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there is a help file. If you do help name change, you see people's old and new name change when the characters are name changed, right? So, I don't know. It'd be if we just had if we had some kind of idea of what types of how frequent are room edits, how major, like how severe room edits are, like how many words or characters are changing. I think we could maybe do a lot with a
honestly, I think we should fix this on the root cause of that one, and I don't see any reason why the room ID should not be sent. We can identify the rooms by the SHA-1 anyway, so there is no secret information that should not be sent or that is not given out. And I have to say I have high hopes in MuMeDev that they will send this soon via the GMCP. I really see that they are cooperative and open for reasoning, and I have high hopes that they will send us this VNAM pretty soon. Then we don't have any
100% agree with you.
We just it just works.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with you. There's no reason why we, I can't think of any reason why getting the VNAM wouldn't be like because we're as you said, we're already figuring out what rooms are what and differentiating them based on the hash. The VNAM would just make it a lot less error prone and a lot more bulletproof in terms of whenever they fix a typo, it doesn't create a completely different hash.
And it adds to the user experience. People will be happy about that. When people will like it, people see, hey, it works. So people will be happy. Mm-hmm. And we all benefit from that.
Yeah. And even the mapper users would benefit as well. Just, because if that was if that change happened and that was integrated into the mappers, like, well, you'd have a lot less trouble with, they updated the room terrain in Gloom, and now all of a sudden Gloom doesn't sync, for example, or Dragon or whatever. I seem to recall, like, a few years ago, they changed a whole bunch of indoors terrain to
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
something else, and so many people were not happy, and I understand why they weren't happy.
That's kind of the equivalent of just like they could have just like come up and flick your ear while you're playing the game. It's like, oh, I lost Sync and Gloom. I lost Sync and Moria. Moria is really bad in Mirnog and Westgate area.
Yeah, and that just would not happen if we got room IDs, VNums, whatever you want to call it. Like, if we got those, like, that wouldn't happen, and it would, for projects like this, it would make it a lot more easy going forward. Because it's like you're kind of on shaky ground at the moment. Like, if they change something, then you have to go back and figure out, okay, what's the new hash? Even if they publish, like, a list of rooms that were changed, that still is a maintenance burden on you, because then you've got to go back and visit those rooms to get the new hashes. It's not going to be automatic, because it's like, well, say they fix, I don't know, 10 typos. It's like you've got to create a character, and you don't know where those typos might be. They might be in dangerous areas. They might be wherever. Like, just thinking forward, once you're out of the newbie area, if that's in your future, if that's something that you want to do, but like, this could be something that you might not want to create an orc just to go into some specific area to get a new hash,
Well, I'm not on the technical side of things, but what I will say is that so far you guys are doing an absolutely amazing job. Hopefully they'll fix the hashing issue for you, giving you the actual room IDs. We're probably going to have to wrapping up here pretty soon. Are there any final shots you guys wanted to throw out here in terms of what you've been working on? Anything that you want to showcase? Any just thoughts in general? In general. There we go.
No, not from my side. I have to say, I really, really liked working on it. I really, really liked working with Freyja on that one. It's a really, like she said, a nice small indie game studio that we are having here going forward. It's so inspirative and it's so inspiring doing this together, having these ideas, bouncing it around, seeing how this grows, getting feedback from the community, bringing it further. It's really awesome. I still and also like the cooperation we are receiving from the MUME development. I also really, really like that, and the artwork that Freyja is doing is just making the difference here. It is without that one, it just would be code, and with the work she's adding, she brings it to life. That's awesome.
Operation that brings it to life. But yeah, a shout from me would be please give us the room ideas.
All right, you heard it here first. We need some more room ideas. We need some more imagery for Freyja. Check out the AI Discord for sure. We'll also, I'll post just for I guess the sake of hopefully getting a few extra images in there. I'll post that the guidelines for creating a new image in the description for this video as well. So in case anyone wants to mess around, they can just try messing around with some of those keywords. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. Thank
you guys.
I mean, I've never seen anything like this in MUME history,
really,
so
really nice.
This is amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you guys so much for coming, and I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for having